What's up, guys? Today we're doing a video on a new Ackie monitor enclosure. I say new because I have an old one and I don't like it. This is my current enclosure. It was built as a semi-temporary enclosure, just an old 90-gallon I had laying around. I built this weird wooden frame as a lid and stuff. Heat lamps and all that stuff, reed stack, all that. But Carl does not like it in here for some reason. His name is Carl. One of the reasons, I'm sure, is because it's a top opening setup. Most reptiles and amphibians don't like that because when you reach down at them from above, they think you're a predator. Also, glass does not hold temperature very well. So I'm making him a melamine enclosure. It's gonna be actually a little bit bigger. I thought about doing a smaller enclosure because I've read or I've heard that smaller enclosures can help with their confidence and help them get comfortable. It's a smaller territory, they can get, situated and feel like they're in charge much quicker. But instead of doing that, I'm just doing a 4x2x2, keeping it simple. He's gonna go in my plant room, so I'm moving him to a different location that he'll be a lot more secure in, basically. Not as much going on. He won't be able to see anything unless I'm sitting down. Unless I'm sitting down at my desk. So it'll be like a solid wall between him and anything else. But yeah. So I've got the melamine, some 4x4 sheets of melamine, like particle board. It's 3/4 inch, so it's plenty thick. I need to move this. This is a plant wall video. You guys will see that later. Or maybe even before I release this video. I don't even know. But yeah, I'm gonna cut these down into shape and just probably not even do a time lapse. I'm gonna put my headphones in and just knock this out really quick. All right, fast forward a couple days and we've got a thing. So I built a little stand for it with some wheelie johnnies on there. So this thing moves around. It's very heavy. I definitely wanted to make sure I had some kind of stand. Why is that so undulated? That's weird. But anyway, it's pretty much done. I have to silicone all of the seams around the inside because melamine can't have any kind of like access to moisture or else it'll swell. But this was really, really, really easy to do. It's literally just a box. I didn't have to do any kind of support stuff like I would have with plywood. Excuse me, sir. You're right where I'm trying to stand. Move. Go on. I didn't have to do any kind of weird support. It's literally just a box. I cut everything into shape. And it was pretty cheap. So all of the melamine pretty much was, I think, like $60, $70. I think total for everything that you see in front of you, not counting the foam, but screws, melamine, 2x4s, and the wheels, I'm in at right about like $150. So if you need to build a big enclosure and like a snap that doesn't necessarily need to look that good, that holds a lot of heat, melamine is the way to go. Obviously, we still have to do glass and glass tracks and a 3D background, soil, all that kind of stuff, heating, lighting, and all that. But the physical box is pretty much done. So after I do glass and glass tracks, that's probably going to be another $50 for custom cut glass. We're going to be right around $200 for the whole thing. So very cheap, not exactly sexy in my opinion. I hate the look of melamine. I was thinking about putting some wood putty on here, sanding it all down, putting wood filler in these little gaps, and then painting the whole thing flat black. But I'm just gonna leave it. It's not worth the effort, honestly. This is gonna be a semi-temporary one. Whenever he gets a little bit bigger, I'm gonna build him like a 6x2x3 foot enclosure that'll house him full time, like when he's an adult. But right now he's a little bit small for that. So, moving onward, I'm going to silicone all of the seams on the inside and start working on the 3D background. All right, so obviously the background is pretty much done. Just a quick layout of the thing. This is gonna be the basking area. It's gonna function similar to a reed stack, like there's multiple levels. And then there's gonna be soil, like the soil level will come up to about here, and then it'll be stacked on top of this and then come up to about here. So it'll be lots of soil sloping toward the back. This area is his like hide box, so that'll retain more humidity than the rest of the soil. So if he ever wants like a really humid place where he's just super secure, that's right here. It goes to about right there, and it's pretty thick, and it's got a little lid right here so I can access that if need be.
Hi.
But yeah, so his hide box has a little lid so I can access that if I need to. And then he's got this like intricate background layer of little levels that he can kind of perch up on. I'll be adding some branches probably to this. And then the whole soil layer is very large. I wanted to have plenty of soil for him to burrow. There's gonna be cork grounds and rocks in here, and spinifex grass, which is native to their area or their like native range, I guess. But yeah, so I'm about to start dry locking just to get a base layer of the dry lock in. All right, so here we are. First layer is done on the whole thing. I had to like take this in and out and do stuff with that. That's now in there, nice and snug. This is in there, nice and snug. This stuff moves like a little bit, you can kind of see there, and this one moves just a little bit. But I think once there's a few more layers of dry lock and the soil is under here supporting it, it's not gonna be an issue. But I'm gonna go ahead and mix up. Okay, so throwback to Artemis's enclosure. I talked about how I heard that people can do acrylic paint mixed in with a dry lock, and obviously dumb Harrison bought gray non-tintable dry lock. So we have now white tintable dry lock, and we're gonna try some of, dropping knives, this burnt sienna color on the white dry lock, mix that together and see if I can get like a nice reddish kind of rocky color. And then I'm gonna do a few layers of that, and then we'll use less and less of this to get lighter stuff, and we'll do little detail stuff with the lighter coloration. And yeah, it's gonna be really cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this first dark layer. I'm not sure exactly where I left off in terms of updates with this build. But if you're considering doing foam with dry lock on top and then a 78 watt halogen floodlight, don't. So I plugged one in, I screwed one in and left, and then went to go make some food, and I came back to the sound of something cooking. And when I came back, the dry lock was like bubbling on top, and it had melted it and clearly gotten way too hot. I would imagine somewhere around 250 degrees. If you know anything about Ackies, you know 120 is about their basking point. A lot of people keep them warmer, but that's really not how they live in the wild. 120 is what the tops of those rocks are usually looking like. And then 100 degrees is usually the ambient temperature. And then on the cool end of your enclosure, from what I've heard from other people, you want around like 85, maybe a little bit lower, but probably not much lower. A lot of people like to run really hot spots. The danger, from what I've heard, I'm definitely a novice, so I'm not trying to like shame anybody or say they're wrong, but from what I've heard, a lot of people will run, a problem that people can actually have is that they keep the tank not cold or not hot enough, so the Ackie feels like it has to bask a lot, and it leads to thermal burns because people keep it way too hot. So if you keep the tank at an ambient 100 degrees and then the basking point at 120, that's what they have in the wild, and that's what they kind of want. But basically what I've decided to do is just cover this area with rock and foam that in. And I will be dry locking over this to match the color here. It looks very like orangey brown. That's not the actual color in person. I don't know why it's picking it up like that. It's red, like reddish brown. But I'm gonna be dry locking over this, and hopefully this will hold heat a little bit better, just more efficiently than foam would. I'm sure as soon as the heat hits the foam, it's out basically. It's not a good thermal insulator, or it is, however that works. But yeah, I'm gonna be dry locking over this, and then we're gonna be adding soil and blah, blah, blah. Quick update in here. I've got all the lights pretty much in. I've just still gotta figure out a bulb for this that's hooked up to the dimmer, so that's gonna be his basking bulb. This is his heat thing. Obviously it's not on, or else I would be losing the tips of my fingers. But for main lighting, it's all Varanus warm toned LED strip lights, and then there's his what's it called, UVB, and that's just velcroed into there. Thought that would be easier. Then doing like brackets like I was gonna do. This would have been a huge pain, but Velcro is way, way easier. But yeah, so gotta add soil now, get the glass, and then he'll be good to go in. All right, it's been a couple weeks. I was in Croatia for a while, but I'm back working on the enclosure. Glass is here. Obviously, it's not in the frame. It's there. Most of the stuff, I've got this guy drilled, and that's like a blocker so he can't get out. I did it on the inside because I don't want him pulling it out from the inside or something like that. I don't know. I don't think he can get up where it is. But anyway, we're adding soil. My mixture that I use is 2 parts organic topsoil. I'm using Scott's premium topsoil. It's all just, you want organic with no additives. And then 1 part just play sand. I found that holds moisture really, really well. And holds burrows, like the shape of the burrow, and they don't collapse really, really well. If you watch Dave Kaufman's video, you know that like where they actually range from, the humidity in the open air is like 10 to 20% usually, and the humidity inside the burrows is like almost 100%. So it's crazy. The burrows are extremely, extremely, extremely important. That's why you need a deep soil layer. You need a good soil. You need different, like a lot. Their soil is really important. I'm sure if you are keeping Ackies, you've done the research, you've read the care sheets, like the bajillion care sheets out there, and watched all the videos and stuff like that. But yeah, this is the soil mix that I'm using that I found that I like. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start mixing stuff up. It's gonna be a lot of soil because it's a lot of space for this little guy. And yeah, I'll show you guys when it's kind of done. I intended to have this done sooner, but I keep getting setbacks. But anyway, soil's in, glass is in, the locks are on the glass, the handles are on the glass, bulbs are in. I switched the dimmer around, so that's on a dimmer. It's at like 80%. It keeps the ambient temperature where I want it. The basking point right around here is about a maximum. I don't know why that's so weird the way it's focusing. The maximum heat is about 130 degrees on the basking point, and then it drops down to probably 105 around this whole plate here. And then like right around here is probably, 85 degrees. And then over here is probably 80s to high 70s. So it's good. It's really well. It's really situated for him. He's got plenty of burrowing space to go to cooler temperatures and more humidity if he wants it. But now I'm just going to go ahead and add all these cork tubes and probably some cork bark, maybe some bigger logs in here. Scape it up. I don't have any plants. I was thinking about doing Spinifex grass, which is like the plant that's everywhere where they're native. Northern Australia, Northwestern Australia. But that's kind of hard to get from what I've heard, and it's not super pretty. So I'm probably going to go with some kind of sedge or some kind of prettier grass, like an ornamental grass that can take the temps. I'm thinking red fountain grass would give a good look because it would match the background. It'd be nice and red and pretty and just grow easy. But yeah, so I'm gonna add some wood and then we're gonna add the lizard. All right, you guys missed the last part of that because I burnt myself on the ceramic heat emitter. Not sure if you're gonna be able to see that, but yeah, like right there, that shiny bit on my forearm, right on my tattoo. But yeah, so added a few more pieces. It's looking glorious. I'm really, really, really excited about this. And yeah, I'm gonna go add his water bowl right here, and then I'm gonna try to catch him and add him in. But yeah. All right, I've got the boy. He's mad. He's kind of mad at me. Oh, it's okay, buddy. But you're in your new house. It's okay. Okay, here we go. Turn around. He's gonna just take off. Here we go. There he goes. Let's see what he thinks. It's okay, bud. Close that door, let it get all nice and warmed up in there. He's gotten bigger, a lot bigger. That's really cool. He's just trying to settle in. Yeah, you're good, man. I'm not gonna eat you or anything. Looks like he's moving toward the basking area. Checking it out. Come on, Carl. Good boy. That's a good boy. Hell yeah. Shh. I don't know why the video quality is so poor. It's all right, buddy. He's a little bit stressed out. He's still puffing up a little bit. He has now moved over here. I'm definitely annoying him by filming, so I'm trying not to do it too much. He's starting to explore, which is exactly what I was hoping would happen. You can see him puffing a little bit, so he doesn't like that I'm filming him at all. It's okay, buddy. One of these days we're gonna be friends. Oh yeah, come on over. Oh, or don't. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you didn't like that. That's all right. I'll just close that back up for you, bud. You can go back to exploring. All right, so I left the room for a minute to kind of let Carl get situated, and I came back, and he's found his way right back to the basking point. So I think he's kind of got it figured out. And I just added a bunch of crickets. Trying to get him to trust me. I'm trying to get him to see me adding food so he knows that I'm the one who brings him food, so he can be confident, so he doesn't hide every time I come around. And so far he seems very good. Okay, now I'm talking and he doesn't like that, but I added a bunch of crickets kind of right in front of him. I held him near his face and kind of dropped him. He's a little bit stressed out to eat, and he looks very, very full right now, so he's not really touching anything. Here he goes, climbing. So he's not really eating anything from the tongs yet, but I think this is gonna be, I think in less than a month, I'll have him eating off the tongs, and I'm really, 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 really excited about that. But yeah, I'm gonna be adding grasses. I'm gonna be adding isopods. I'm gonna be adding springtails. I've already added springtails, but they're Look at him crawl. He's like a dinosaur. Oh my god, it's so cool. This is why I love monitors. And those LED lights don't put off really any heat almost. I can touch them, no problem, like for a very long time. It's not gonna burn him. It's not gonna hurt him at all. He can sit under those all day and it's not gonna do any damage. They're barely warm, basically. But he's just going up there to the highest point and just exploring, so that's really cool to see. He's being a little bit goofy. But yeah, oh, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna jump? Oh, shoot. Crickets. Oh, I think I scared him a little bit there. But he's now just kind of exploring all of the edges of the tank, doing his thing, finding the limits and stuff, and it's just cool to watch. Monitors are so freaking smart. We'll see if he goes into the water. I've always wanted to see if what he'll do when he interacts with water. Ooh. All right, so I was gonna add plants, make it bioactive and all that stuff, but I'm gonna save that for the next video. I've gotta wait till I get paid anyway to buy all that stuff. So we're gonna cut it there. It's starting to dry out and get kind of long. It's a long build. I showed you guys pretty much everything I did on it, but I'm just gonna show you guys Carl enjoying his basking spot. Maybe feed him a cricket or two. There's a cricket right here that he's staring at. Let me see if I can get him excited with the tongs. It's okay, buddy. He's still not quite used to me. We're only, I'd say, almost a week into him having this enclosure. One sec, let me grab a cricket. There he goes. I love the way they drag their heads. It's so cool. He's trying to break up the cricket. He's chasing. He's the chase. So goofy. So cool. Gotta wait. I got you, buddy. One second. Just let it go and see what it does. Go get it. Oh, he dropped it. There he goes. I'm doing an awful job filming. He's got it. Good job, buddy. He's gonna go take that back into his hide. And yeah. But yeah, guys, that's Carl. He's doing really, really well in here. Like I said, we're less than a week into this new enclosure, and he's already taking crickets off the tongs every single day. I've gotten him to crawl onto my hand a couple times while taking them, but he's still getting settled, so I'm trying to take it slow. I'm trying not to bother him too much, but just reinforcing with the feeding, all that stuff, and it's going really, really, really well. It's really exciting. But yeah, that's Carl's Ackie enclosure. Next video, I'll make it bioactive. I'll add plants, isopods, springtails, maybe some leaf litter, some other stuff like that, just to spruce it up a little bit and make it better. But yeah, that'll be a few weeks down the road. This video was really starting to drag on. He's coming back to his basking spot. This video was starting to drag on, so I just wanted to get it out there. I haven't posted on it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you next time.